Thank you so much for being here with me and doing this interview. I really appreciate it. You taking the time out to come here with me. And I just wanted to start off this interview with asking you a few questions. Now, what age did you start dancing?
14.
The person in dance who inspired you the most coming up?
I started with another neighbor. Her name is Deborah Holmes. She's a little block away from me, and she and I went to QC together. And one lunch break, she came out in her pointe shoes and she was dancing around. That was it for me. I said, oh my God, what? Where do you dance? And that's how I started. She took me to my first dance class.
Oh, that's good. Previous dance-related injuries?
I've never had one. My knee crashed into the bar. That's about it. I've had actually no kind of injuries like that.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, I'm kind of.
That's
lucky.
blessed.
That's a chip and arm in me.
That's what that is. What year did you open up your dance studio?
2010. Because I was doing originally a dance studio with someone else, and then things changed, situations changed things. So then I launched my own. I relaunched myself as a solo person teaching dance, and that started 2010. Now, I didn't want to use my name, but I didn't know what to call it. So I called it Lawrence Carroll Dance Academy, and it's abbreviated as LCDA. So that's my phrase, I'm a LCDA.
LCDA, yeah.
As opposed to that long name. You should see my email address. Oh my God.
What countries have you performed in?
Oh God, so many.
Give me 3.
Okay. Jamaica, Barbados, USA, Europe.
Okay. Favorite dance style?
I like classical ballet. The reason why I've always loved classical ballet because it is the hardest form of dance. It's the most difficult technical ability. To me, that's the hardest.
I think it is too. To me, it is
very hard. It's very set. You cannot cut any corners because it's just very, and I always liked ballet, and I always had this love for opera. I don't know why. When I was a child, I always loved opera music.
Have you been to the opera?
Yeah.
You have?
Oh God, yes. My first visit to New York, I had to go and see an opera. Oh yeah, and then my uncle, he did Timbuktu with Eartha Kitt. So and that was so funny because I didn't even know the name of the musical that he was in. But then I saw a poster with this big guy with Eartha Kitt. So I think that's my uncle, and that's how I found that particular show. And he was in that show.
That's good. Do you prefer solos, duets, or group numbers?
Solo.
Solos?
Solo.
Want to be on the
All
stage
the
by
shows,
yourself?
yeah. All the shows I did in Nassau, I was always the lead. Lead meaning you always get to do a solo.
Yeah.
So every show I was in, I always did the solo. I like the solo because then the focus is only on you. And then it pushes you to be even a better performer because it's only you, and you just have to dance, and you know that you're doing the solo because you're one of the better dancers in the entire company.
Like you have all the things, you have the technique down, you have the choreography down, you have that stage presence there.
And the look.
And the look,
Okay,
yes, definitely.
yes.
You have to have the look.
Oh, definitely. Most definitely, you must have the look. Yeah. I love to choreograph. Like choreography is just my thing. I don't know how I do what I do. I can choreograph a number and it's turned out to be amazing, and I don't have to plan it. I don't sit down and block, okay, I'm going to do this 2 steps. I never, ever know what I'm doing with a piece of choreography. But I just did a number, I redid a number to Made to Love. And I'm sitting there watching and said, oh my God, how did I think of that? You know what I mean? These things, I don't know, it just happens. Like, I never planned any choreography, any works that I do, they're never planned. I always know the music.
Yes.
And the music always drives me.
Okay. So do you plan to like the beat of the music, the feel of the music as much, or do you more so what you think would go best with the overall theme, the idea?
Well, the music is my first choice. If it's a piece of music that I like, I always want something neoclassic. I also like something that's ballet oriented. I need some modern dance situation. And I also like a new version of something. Because like right now I'm working on a number. It's the European version is Made to Love. And now they have an African version of the same song. So you know I'm eating that up. Because you know I'm getting two different cultures, the European and the African together. Oh my God. Amino.
It has those like the West African like drums and stuff, and that beat, that rhythm.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So you have that classic flow, but you have that African drum thing in the background. Now, my focus is always on the bass. 'Cause usually when I teach kids how to dance and how to keep in tune, I tell them you have to always listen to the bass, always into the downbeat, and that's your driving force. Now, based on the genres of the music, will tell me if I'm going to do something classical, something modern, something jazzy. So it depends on the genre of the music.
Okay. And one reason why you love dance?
I was just born to dance.
You just wanted to dance.
I don't know. You know, when I first started, I knew I wanted to dance. I didn't know how I was going to dance. I didn't have a clue, but I knew I wanted to dance. When I found out the way to dance is when I went every home took me to that class. The thing that impressed me the most was there were 4 male dancers there already. They were to die for.
Do you remember their names?
Yeah. Clarkston, Kermit, who now has a church in Freeport. Who were the other 2? Dave. I can't remember the other one, but there were 4 guys in there, and then I joined in, and 3 other guys came in the same time I came in. So there was 4 old and 4 new. And then of course I had to wait until they got out of the way so I could take over, and that took forever.
So you could shine like the star you are, right?
Right, exactly. Right.
Tell me a little more about yourself, a little more about your dance history, your dance experience, and yeah.
Okay. Well, I started dancing at the age of 14, and then I went to Canada, scholarship, through the New Breed Dances, which is the dance group that I was in.
The New Breed?
New Breed Dances.
New Breed Dances,
yeah,
okay.
That's what we were called. I went to Toronto, and I studied theater arts, dance option. So I was going also to the Canadian College of Dance, also the Imperial Society of Teachers of Dancing. So all those courses, all those things I was doing all at the same time. This was a 3-year program. So that, when I first went there, I was kind of confused because, you know, they do the interview. They say, hello, you're at Carroll, you're from the Bahamas, gave you a number and everything, and they gave me my schedule. I said, okay, what's this all about? I said, I came here to dance 9 to 6 p.m. I said, nope, doesn't work like that. You got to do these academic courses as well as the dance courses. So after the first month or so, I got adjusted. And I tell you, oh my God, I learned so much during the time I was in Toronto, because they taught me how to teach the modern dance. They also taught me how to teach the folklore dance as well as the classical ballet. And all of those things that I did, you had to be examined. All right? So the exams would come in flying from London during April. So you had to be examined, and you get a pass, commended or highly commended. For the ballet situation, I could not get more than a pass because my hips were too big and my legs were too big. So I didn't have that lean classic look.
The European look.
Right, the European look.
Yes.
So I settled with that. But the modern dance and the national folk dance, the 6 exams I took, elementary, intermediate, advanced, I got all with honors. Then also when I was there, I ordered a student choreographic competition. Here we go again. I had this choreographic thing in me, and I got a 3rd place in that. And then outside of that, I was going to different areas of Canada, doing classes all over New York and Canada.
That's good. You had a really good start. I know for me, well, for me, when I started out, I knew I wanted to dance. I didn't know how I was going to, My dad didn't really believe in the arts. You know, my mom was the push, but my dad didn't really believe in it, so it was more academic on his part. Yeah.
Yeah, nobody believes in the arts, and I think the reason why they don't believe in the arts because the arts never show them what to believe in. If you understand what I'm trying to say, like when I was doing the dance adjudication during festival time, like I see all these amazing kids who are physically beautiful, but they don't have a clue what to do. And then I always know who's the choreographer, because always that one child, because everybody is watching that one person, because that's, and I always ask, are you the choreographer? Yes, yeah, because I always know who's the choreographer. So I think a lot of people, you know, I went through the works. I mean, I'm the real core. Okay, I mean, I put in a lot of time, and I was lucky too because I was a male, and we always got scholarships. So when school was finished, I was going to Belleville, Ontario, and then those days it was called flying down. So if you came from Canada and you're going to Nassau, you can stop over in New York and you didn't have to pay anything extra. So I'll fly from Toronto, I go to New York, into some classes there, then I come home.
Those were the days, eh?
Those were the days.
Those were the days.
So that's how I got all this experience. And then everywhere I went, I was like a god. I mean, when we did the Caribbean Arts Festival, Carroll Festa, I'll never forget Jamaica. They had me on their newspaper on the front page, and it said, Bahamian contingent brings festival spirit. And I did this obia dance with another girl from Nassau Civic Ballet, Denise Hyler. And everywhere I went, I was getting mangoes. When I went home, I couldn't get in because they were waiting to see me. Oh my God, that was something else.
You were a local celebrity.
Yeah. That was Jamaica. Oh my God, that was something else. That was an experience. And like when the shows were finished, I had to be the last person to get on the bus because they was just waiting to see that guy. Who's that guy? We need to meet him. La la la. And all I could do was this, whoosh, in the bus, and it was gone. I couldn't be the first one out because they was gonna get me.
So compared to other Caribbean islands, would you say that the Bahamas is like far behind in the arts?
Oh yeah, we're very behind.
Far behind.
Is there anything further you could say? We are very behind because we don't acknowledge and recognize the people who are the best in each of the disciplines. Because in the Bahamas, it's a popularity contest. You know, that's what I'm saying. People that come to me will come to me because they know me or they like me. But that's not enough, you know. And I have so much to offer, I have so much to give, but some kids will never experience that because they just don't come to me. Now, why they don't come to me, I have absolutely no idea. Because I'm the real deal. And I must tell you, what is so fascinating to me is that every time a foreign person visits the island and they come to me to bring their child for dance classes, the first question they ask me, are you certified? Every European, every expat person that walks through my door, the first thing they ask me, are you certified? And Bahamians don't do that. It's a popularity contest. Everybody goes to Stefana because we like Stefana. She's my friend. So you go there. But we never question the ability of the person who you give your child to learn a specific form of dance. And that is amazing to me. But the foreign people do it. That's the first thing they ask.
Yeah, they want to know that you are the most qualified, obviously, to teach their child, that you know what you're doing. Their child's not going to get injured in your presence, obviously, because, you know, if you're not someone who's trained in dance and doesn't know the body structures or how your body's supposed to work or the stretches you're supposed to do to target different muscles that you're going to working on even warming up and warming down, a lot of people don't do that and they don't know that, and because they're not trained to. And the parents, they only want someone to babysit their kids. They don't really want and say, okay, well, they're doing this activity, not to say that, you know, they're trained by someone who knows them, they're going to be successful at this because of this, you know?
Yeah. It's a babysitting service, or it's you go to a place where the person in charge knows certain students. Maybe they can hold their leg up, or they can walk over, or they can do an aerial. and then they just get them, put them together, and then put choreography on them. And they claim that it's their students. No, they're not. Because those kids came from somewhere else. And we will not give the people the credit. So yes, they're my students now, but they were trained by John Doe. You never get the credit here. They would steal your students from you, right? And then put their work on you and then say, oh, I'm the great one.
I don't know if you watched it used to come on Lifetime, Dance Moms.
Yeah.
With Abby Lee Dance Studio.
Yeah.
I know all the girls came there already trained. They knew they knew exactly what they were doing before they came there, right?
Of course.
And they came there and Abby got all of the credit for, training them, putting them together, helping them win all the competitions when she wasn't the one that taught them their technique. There's even choreographers and trainers there.
Of course.
It's only her name, but there's trainers there that actually train the girls and teach them.
Right.
And it's not her, but it's her name, it's her brand.
Yeah, it was her brand, it was her show, you know what I mean? She offered to that show the drama.
Yes.
Okay, she was the drama.
Definitely drama.
But you'll never see her doing anything actually.
Just
I mean, it's like a simple, do a kick or something, I don't know. Because, usually when you get our age, it's just so difficult to do anything, right? So you have to look for that one student who understands your product. Then you have to let them do it, and then you see how it should be done. Because you can't fucking do it anymore. You know what I mean? There's a time when you have to just hang up your shoes.
Yeah.
But you can still teach, okay, because you have the knowledge and the experience, right? So it's just, I don't know. And if you come to my studio, you'll see, because I have all my certificates on the wall. Everything I did, honey, is on the wall. I always tell them, just take a second over there and go and read it.
Be proud.
Yeah.
You
because I want them to know that I know my stuff.
Yes. They can't doubt you.
Hands down, I know my stuff. This is what I did. I ran away. I trained. I tell you, all I can say is thank God for the time, that opportunity I had to do what I did when I did it. Because I don't know what I would have done if I hadn't experienced that, And when it comes to ballet, I mean, I know all the terminology. I know what a coupe chasse par glisse à l'assemblée is.
Well, you kind of lost me there, but...
See? Yeah, I know, but see, all those things and what is parallel, what is turnout, what is a ball and socket joint, what is a knee hinge joint, and why you only could do certain things because of your anatomy, okay? So I tell you, what I did, oh my God, it's so entailed. I mean, they even made us, we had to make a tutu at one point. We had to do makeup, we had to do bookkeeping, we had to do design and construction, we had to do study theater history. We had music, dance, and appreciation. Of course, we had to do French. We did pedagogy classes, which is classes teaching you how to teach. Okay? Because they said in college, if you may not excel as a professional dancer, but you're gonna leave here, you're gonna know how to teach. So you graduated either with both or one or the other. I graduated with both because I could dance, and I wanted the paperwork, the backing behind the teaching part of it. So that's what I got.
It's always something to fall back on, because after like a dancer's performance lifespan is not
it's
normally
limited.
long,
Right,
so you always want something to fall back on, so you'll have something to do it later on.
The dancing is, it has to be in your youth. And for any Bahamian that's talented, by 12, they just need to go somewhere else and get the real, every day, 6 hours a day, the real so that and the other problem too is that we just do it. I think we do it first because of a hobby, a release of energy, whatever the case may be. When you see on YouTube and all those video channels, you see these amazing people, and you say, Jesus, how can they do that? And you know why they can do it? Because they had them from they were 3 years old, and they made their bodies teach them how to do all these wonderful things. So by the time they get 12, they can lift their leg and hold it up there and can have breakfast.
Just
and
sit
the
down.
leg, yeah,
Just sit
the
down
leg
with
is
your
still
leg.
there.
That's all.
But we come in at 12, and you have to work so hard to get to that level. And the other thing is too, we don't have that kind of professional standard, meaning a school where only the elite go. Meaning you gotta have long legs, you have to have a long torso, you have to be flexible, you have to a certain look.
Yes.
And then those, all that be in a group together and they all train together. We don't have that yet here, okay? Because here it's social, it's an after-school program, and it's somewhere for kids to be when school comes out of 3. See? So I don't know when or how we could ever get to that level. I mean, the National Dance School is now closed, and we're trying to get it back up and running, but I feel as though they have to decide, is it going to be like an after-school program, or is it going to be a professional school? And I think once they've identified what it is that they want to do with that school, there's no point to move forward.
So I want you to tell me about your favorite performance as a dancer during your dance career.
I think my favorite moment was when I played the Ghost of Sammy Swain during the Queen Elizabeth was in town, and we did this show for her. And I played the Ghost of Sammy Swain. I think that was the highlight for me. That was amazing.
You think you could do 1 or 2 moves?
No. I can't even do a kick layout no more.
So you're regular like the rest of us now who can't do it.
Yeah. I leave that for y'all to do.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I leave that for y'all to do.
It's for the youth, as we said already, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me tell you, what advice would you give to aspiring dancers?
Know what you want to do from a very young age. Go to people who are qualified to teach you. Okay? Don't make it a popularity thing because mommy knows how or daddy knows how or him. But you need to go to the best. You need to go to a person who is gonna give you the foundation you need to go even further. You know what I mean? Because I've done all of this, but I can only take you so far. But to really get what you really, really need in terms of professional dance, you have to go and mingle with all the greats on the European side and the American side.
You'd be well versed,
Right.
basically.
Right. Right. I can give you a perfect foundation to get you started. And I feel too there's only so much we can teach anybody on this island that teaches dance. Trust me, there's only so far they can take them. And all of the taking to the length that they need to go, again, comes from the person that's teaching you foundation. Where did you train? What did you do? Okay, those questions are never asked, like I said earlier, because people, I guess, is looking for the child to go somewhere. And Lord, if they don't like you, if they don't like you, they don't care how good you are, they just will not go to you. Or they'll go somewhere else, they'll go all around the mulberry bush. Then a year later, they used to say, "Hi, Mr. Carroll, we're back." I said, "I know you would be." Because now they're convinced that that's where they need to be. Now, why did they waste a whole year, 2 years, searching?
On a grudge.
When they had the sources right there. But it's okay, because now, because of what they had experienced, they now appreciate me. And they should have done that from the beginning. But again, lack of knowledge.
You never know what you had until it's gone, right?
That's what I keep saying, and that is so sad. You know, that's a life thing. That goes to your entire life. And I don't understand why I have to lose something to appreciate it. Why don't I appreciate it when I had it? You know what I mean? It's like an ongoing saga in my entire life. You know what I mean? And we just need to dance and you know, they're trying to do this cultural commission thing. I'm sitting there and I'm smiling and talking, and I know deep in my heart, I just pray to God that it would materialize, because it's a good start.
It's a lot of talking going on, but not enough action. Because there's always going to be committees, there's always going to be talks, but we never go further than talking.
We love a committee.
Yes.
Oh Lord, okay, this is the committee for the thing. Same thing like the prince and his wife coming to Bahamas, right? And then, so it should be, you go to your national entities. Now you go to your national entities only because in those entities supposed to be the best that this island have. Okay, whether it's dancers, singers, actors, or whoever. So until we establish all those things, we'll never really figure out or acknowledge our quality, what we're worth artistically, because we're so divided, and there's not one person who can say, yes, I don't like Stefania, but listen, Stefania understands ballet better than any one of y'all. I would let Stefania be the ballet mistress. I don't like Stefania, mind you, but I know that she can teach the ballet, so she'll teach for me. In our culture, okay, they'll let Mary do it. Mary is not as good as you are, but Mary is okay. But I like Mary better than Stefania, so they'll let Mary do the job. And this is what happens in our culture. They don't let the best people do these things. I tell you, the first year they asked me to be the dance adjudicator for the National Arts Festival, I was in awe. But when I went to the Ministry of Culture office, I said to them, are you sure you want me to be the dance adjudicator? Because they always flew them in. Give them car, hotel, the whole 9 yards, right? And I'll never forget the first day I did the National Arts Dance Adjudication. I'll never forget that day. Once the kids are finished, I have open dialogue. I explain to them what they did, what they could have done, what they should have done.
I performed that before, yeah.
I tell you, on my way out, everybody was like, excuse me, are you a Bahamian? Even Bahamians was asking me if I was a Bahamian. I said, because we never heard these things. We never heard nothing. And the elite parents were like this, watching. And as I started to give corrections, they went lower and lower and lower and lower in the seat. Then after that, they kept coming just to see what I would say, what would be the comments. I tell you, that festival thing was something when I started that. That was like a whole new thing for them, and I couldn't understand why, because if you kids are dancing, there's a category, they choose to be in a category, they want to do what they have to do. There's some serious criterias when you talk about choreography, when you present your number. So I don't understand how, and they said they never heard those things before. And I never forget, there was a group from St. Anne's. I taught them the pieces. Okay? So they came back 3 days later. Honey, I didn't know it was the same group. They got like a 90. And so they were screaming. So I said, wait a minute. Didn't I see y'all on Monday? I said, yes. They must have got like a 70 or something. I said, congratulations. They went home and did their homework. They went home, they came back. They look at a totally different group.
You know, I think parents always want their teacher to praise their child instead of actually critiquing them and trying to make them better, you know. They want you to, give them all the praise and want to tell them they're the best thing at this, they're the best at this, but you can praise them while critiquing them.
Yeah.
You can make them better,
Yeah.
in that process. And a lot of parents don't understand that. They don't do that. That's the problem with, the dancer. And people think their child is so, such the best dancer on here, so when people are critiquing them, they'll be like, oh no, you don't know what you're talking about. No, this is my child, I know them, they're the best.
Because they'll say, oh, Mr. Carroll, I have to bring my daughter to you. She always dancing. And she could do this and she could do the next. So when they come to the class, they can't do nothing. Like, they can't even do a full split. Ow, that hurt me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like...
Well, a proper split. People, they be doing the split and...
that's another ballgame. That is another interview. But I think we just have to get focused on training and certification and asking questions. Knowing who's teaching you, knowing what it is to do. I mean, even though my name is Lawrence Carroll, everybody know me as the dancer of the island, but still, I was still like, so what did you do? What is you doing? What is your background? And I could tell them. Because I could tell them how all the shows when I was dancing at Playboy and the Cable Beach thing opened up. Look here, you could open a show, you could open a casino if you didn't have a show. And to have a show, you had to have 2/3 Bahamians in the cast. Okay? I'll never forget it. When that show opened up there, Lyndon Finlay came to the opening night. Because he came to make sure that Crystal Palace, that those Bahamian dancers were on stage. One year they didn't want me because they wanted the boys and the more mature, the smarter one. They didn't want me at all in one show. So I went to the labor place and applied for an unemployed dancer. Okay? Because that's what somebody who's working in his office told me to do. So that's what I did. So when they say, go have a vacation, go do what you gotta do. I went to Vegas, had a vacation, and because he knew that they would have to go to the Ministry of Labor to apply for the permits for the expat person, and then I was gonna block them right there because they'd say, excuse me, we have a Bahamian. No, I'm not giving you the contract, but we have a Bahamian that is qualified. I came back from Vegas 3 days later. Hi, York, how are you? I am Susan, the new company manager of the show in Cable Beach. I need you to come in tomorrow for a fitting. That wasn't enough. Opening night, he was there to make sure I was on that stage. And see, stuff like that don't happen no more. We don't even have a show. And we don't have a show because Bahamians just cannot come together
at all. They're so divided.
And produce something. Choose who's best and whatever, and build collectively as a group of artistic people. Build, man.
I think that's what they're trying to do now. But you know, like I know I've been working at Aura for a while, and they have like the entertainment union, right?
Listen.
So
listen.
I'm just like, I'm paying my dues to this union every week. Every week. Not no more, but I think it's supposed to happen, but I don't know what's going on right now with payments. But they say you're supposed to pay your dues to this union every week. And although you're paying these dues here particular to them, when you go to them for help, you're not paying these particular dues, so you can't come to us for help. You know, you have to start paying this. But I've been paying you whatever. What has the money been coming out of my paycheck for to pay you if I can't get you to represent me or help me when I need representation at the hotel, when they're trying to hire foreign girls that can do the same thing that we can do. You know, they only look different. They only look different than us. So
listen, I went through that too because I never paid union dues. Now, I'm not saying this to deter you, right? But
I only pay it because I have to. I say, why don't you pay NIB instead of paying this union dues? Right. I say NIB would help me more than them, but.
And that same producer for the show, Crystal Palace, he said, I don't know, somehow they always know that I'm the one. Don't mess with him because he knows.
It's a look on your face.
You know, but they haven't messed with me. So anyway, he came to me to say, and I know he didn't like me because I heard it. Because he didn't like me. Right? So anyway, he said, I'm going to the union meeting. I said, oh good. Have fun. Now he came here in his budget to pay Bahamian dancers $600 a week, and the lead dancer $1,200 a week. Right. So we went to the meeting, and the union said, you know, they have a minimum. The minimum is $125. The least they could pay is $125 a week. So my boy come back. He said, boy, saving so much money. He used to talk to me. I don't know. Maybe you say the look on my face. I don't know. He said, boy. He said, I came here to pay the $600. I'm here to pay $125. He said, boy, I went. I didn't say anything to anybody. So they paid me what he was paying the Americans, and because that's what the union rate was, he went with the lowest rate.
Of course.
Then, when one show finishes and the other is to begin, you on your own. You have to go and then dance and be glamorous and do what the choreographers ask you to do, la 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 la. And then, based on them, they choose who they want. Now you pay into the union and they don't want you. You go to the union and tell them they didn't choose. You think you get in the show? No, you won't. Because they will tell you, I don't want her. I have another Bahamian to replace her. So they never ever was able to support and protect Bahamian performers. Never ever. You had thank God. Like I tell you, Stefana, it all comes down to thank God I learned what I learned when I learned it, because they couldn't do nothing with me. They couldn't do nothing with me. When it was time to go to do the Bahama Bound, the first show, boy, they hated me, they hated me, they hated me, they hated me. Listen, me and Portia Norwich, okay, boy, I upgraded to first class. I went to New York first class, and it was my roommate, the drunken drummer. His name is Lawrence too. He was my roommate. They treat me like shit over there. Okay, Bahamians. And then the first time we went to the rehearsal, it said Bahamian dancers, Carroll, Roberts, and the rest was the American. And those other Bahamians were called Martians. They had to wear costumes, so you never see them until the jungle thing, right? I said nothing. I had nothing to say. I'm one of the 4 dancers, two Americans and 2 Bahamians. I'm one of the 2. Why y'all upset? And there's nothing nobody can do. Because if a producer comes in and the producer has a liking for, because these people come in with vision. When we did the first, after the Bahama Bound, the producers came and they watched us in a show. Then they went back to New York and auditioned people. And they brought a special girl just for me. Black, short girl. She was very good. She was my double. She came to be the female. She was a line captain. I was a line captain. We did the solo. She did the solo and we did a part of the adage together. You are only as good as your word because nobody can protect you. And it's so sad because if I have a union and I'm supposed to be protecting my dancers, you ain't gonna bring in nobody in here to work. Nobody. I don't care if you don't like. I got Stefania. I have Arlene. I have Mavis. They pay me dues. Now, if you don't want those 3, too bad. Get another 3 Bahamian because I'm not giving you status to bring in an expatriate. They have the power to do it. I don't know why they don't do it. And Lord help you if they don't like you. Yeah. It's over. It's no kind of, hey, this Bahamian people is just, oh my God, it's just, there's no respect, there's no, you gotta do this because you're the one. If I hate you, so what? It's, again, you just don't know what to make the people that have the power to choose, to make a choice. I don't understand why they choose, who they choose, what they choose. I don't know. Whether it's FNM, PLP, or coalition, that has nothing to do with nothing. Because us, in the artistic world, it should be, okay, let me see your pirouettes. Let me see your grand jeté. Let me see your grand jeté on Turban. Can you do a fouette? Do you know what is a coupe chassé par the break? Because when I start my choreography, I'm talking yes. Stuff. I'm telling you, technical okay, let's go. Step, kick, run. Grand jeté. Coupe jeté out. Come back in attitude. And if you can't do those things, I can't help you. I cannot help you. And that's what I don't understand. The thing is, I think as a nation, I think we just need to identify the persons who are qualified. There are a number of areas in the arts and just find out who's the best. I mean, a foreign person came on and chose me to be their lead dancer. I'm Bahamian. I did the show down there. They had a fellow who could sing and dance. I couldn't sing to save my life. They wanted to make him the lead, but they said, no, we can't make him the lead. We need to put Carroll there because he's the local and it make them look good. All right? So the thing is, I just don't understand why we get so personally involved in situations and the whole thing becomes a popularity contest, not respecting what a person is capable of. Because at the end of the day, you should be looking at that final picture. Just like an artist, they start on the canvas, They're just painting, and then oh my God, when they know what they're gonna do in the end. But when that is finished, it's a beautiful portrait. But it's the artist who knows how to paint that is painting the portrait. Okay, so until we get to that point, especially with the dance and this on this island, it's the same thing. Everybody got the little studio here, there, and everywhere. But what qualifies you to have a studio? You know what I mean? You could open a studio now, you know. Set it up, have your clients, charge your fee, whatever. Nobody's gonna ask you. You can do that. And then people are buying too, because again, it's the popularity. Oh, I know Stefana. Yeah, Stefana. Yeah, okay, girl. I can send my daughter to you.
I'm qualified to save my life. I have no certifications, no nothing, but I could open up a studio. Yeah.
Oh, yes, you can.
They do that, yeah.
Man.
They definitely do that.
And then they'll tell you, Stefana, then you tell me better than me. Say, yeah. Oh, yeah, Carol. I know Carol. I'm better than Carol. Oh, yeah. And they stupid. They buy right into you. Because, you know, you got to say what you got to say to get the client. You know. But again, it's the same thing. Clients who looking for these things for the children to do.
They don't think about the arts. They don't think about dance. The only time you'll see dance is John Canoe and at the tattoo.
Everything is at a stem growth. Time and grow, they cut it down. It's just, I don't know how we'll ever, I don't know. It'll take me being the minister of culture, that's all I can say. That's the only way this thing will change. I'll have to get in the government and become the minister of culture. It's the only way.
Wow, you can really dance. Wow, you can really dance. He went. They said we've both been dancing all this time. What a coincidence.